people on the moon and they launched off the moon, right? Okay. Jonathan, what happened next? They, Jacob told us that they moved into the moon's orbit.
Mission Control monitors the Earth.
Okay, well just tell us in your own words. Here's the picture. What happened?
They're monitoring the spaceship to
Okay,
see if it
that's
doesn't
right.
like an engine blows.
Right, and why is that important?
So the astronauts don't crash into another planet.
That's right. They make sure they're going to the right place. And
Jupiter.
what kind of help do these guys have up in space?
A little.
A little bit of help?
Because they're on their own.
They're on their own pretty much,
It's
right?
much.
So they really need these guys. These guys are pretty important to what happens, right? That's right. And how do people on Earth know what's happening?
TV.
Okay. So they're communicating with these guys, right? To tell every little thing that happens. All right. Then what happens, Kayla?
The astronaut Neil Armstrong takes the first step on the moon.
Okay, what do we see here?
First step.
That's his footstep, very first step
I've
on
always
the
wanted-
moon.
I've always wanted to go to the moon.
You think so? Be very cool. And then what do we do?
He pushes the flag into the.
Okay, so why did he do this? Why do you think he did this? He put our flag there.
So the other people that go to the moon know that the Americans were the first.
Oh, very good. Did you hear
And
what
the
she said?
Japanese don't take it back over.
You know, we landed there first, so we're pretty proud about that accomplishment, right? And so we wanted everybody else to know that, hey, we've been here. Very cool. Okay, and then the guys, they were heading home. What did they do?
Took a picture of the moon.
Took some pictures while you're up there, right? Nobody else gets to see, so you might as well take some pictures to bring home, right? To show everyone.
And
Okay,
then
how did they get home?
they landed.
And where did they
on
land?
It's a black. In the list.
Where did they land? Let me show to all the girls so we can all see.
We should go to water.
That's right. They landed in the water, and we had. They probably bless you. What are they sitting in? Do you see? Can you see what they're doing there?
I don't even see them.
They are right here. It's kind of blurry. Can you see them?
Can I see?
Oh, they're tiny.
This thing had big parachutes. You remember from the book when they came back down into the Earth's atmosphere? They had big parachutes, and they landed there in the ocean.
I thought they were bigger people.
This thing is pretty big.
3. I thought there was 3, not 4.
Well, there may be somebody that came out there to help them too.
That might be on there.
Maybe so. And what did they do at the end?
They celebrated.
They celebrated. Do you think that you would celebrate if you went and did such a big thing?
Yeah.
Tell me about the dangers that these guys faced when they were up there. What kind of dangers? You know what a danger is? Think about it. Jacob, tell us.
Something could have gone wrong with the ship.
Absolutely. Something could have gone wrong. And what if they had to leave the ship? Then what?
They would die.
Why would they die? Keegan?
Run out of oxygen.
They would have no oxygen. So it was
Sooner or later.
a pretty big thing for them to be up there and to come back. So they had a lot to celebrate about, right? Tell us, Jonathan, what you have.
Hit a meteor.
They could have hit a meteor, right? And what would that do to them?
Blow their window probably.
Do you think they'd be celebrating if something like that happened?
Yes. Yes.
Because they're up.
Okay, let's look at our timeline here. What would have happened if we took this part out? If this just didn't happen, what happens to our timeline?
This disappears because they never left the moon yet. They
Okay.
have to leave that.
So
And all
this tells us that they came back home. So then he is so right. They wouldn't be celebrating if they didn't come back home, right?
And these would disappear.
Do you think so?
That. And so
Well,
this.
okay, let's put it back up here. Let's look at it that way. Girls, what do you think? Could these things happen if we took this out?
Yeah.
Could they still have happened?
Yes, yes.
Why?
Because if
Jonathan,
you take,
I think Kayla's speaking, so let's listen to what she has to say.
because if you take that one out, that means they never landed.
Okay,
So-
but could they have done these things
Yes.
even though they didn't land?
Yeah.
Okay.
could have even celebrated.
Well, I don't know. Would you be celebrating if
You didn't land.
if the guys didn't come back?
They
They would celebrate on the moon.
They could celebrate in the
In
I
the
made
spaceship.
it. Rocket thing.
Maybe so.
Celebration.
Maybe so. That's a good thing. Okay, so we talked about the order of events and how important it is. How important is it? You tell me.
Big.
How important that each of these events go in just the right order. Like we talked about switching. Okay. Would it make sense? It maybe would not make sense. Like we talked about this one right here. If we switch the liftoff with the moon, then what? Does that make sense?
Then this wouldn't even go up.
Right. That's right.
They were launching off the moon.
Okay. What else do you think? What have you learned about timelines today? Okay, then Kayla, tell us one thing you learned about timelines.
That you can count it by any of the, like you can count it by the month, the day, or the year.
Okay, you could month, date, or year, right? And so, Jonathan, tell us here again. How did we sort ours?
By like how they trained, they
Okay.
lift off, and then
She was telling us the month, date, and the year. How did we sort ours? Month, date, or year?
month,
Okay. And then what?
time,
Okay, we had some times right here.
and then day.
Was it mostly by the year or by the day?
By the day.
By the day. So after we noticed that the year, they were all the same, then we sorted by the day. And then when we got to these, we did what?
That was month. By the time.
By the time, right? And how did we know which one goes over here and which one goes over here?
Because whichever one had like July or
Okay, remember these three are the ones that have the same time, so how do we know which one here?
because it was PM. And
Okay, they're all PM.
This one's 4, 5. This one's 4, 10.
Oh, I heard what Jacob said. Jacob, tell us what you said.
That was earlier.
Earlier. This one was earlier, and this one happened next, and this one happened next. Awesome. You guys had some great thinking today. How can a timeline be a helpful tool? What do you think? How could we use timelines or in another way? Or how could someone use a timeline in real life? Keegan, I saw your hand first. What do you think?
Because it could help you remember the history and.
Absolutely. You guys have talked a lot about history today. It can help you remember the things that happened in history, right? What else, Jonathan?
Add,
Tell us about that.
like, if you're a little kid, you could get a number in a line or one
Okay.
of these, and then put like 2, and
Okay.
then what you're trying to, and then
Maybe
just
we could count the numbers or the spacing. Someone said earlier that you have to
jumps.
skip count or with the
The
dates,
jumps.
right? Very good. The jumps. Kayla, what else?
If you're trying to figure out something that happened in somebody else's life.
Okay, right. You're thinking about somebody else's life and you want to know what happened. A timeline's a good way, right? Why is it easy to look at a timeline and to know the things in somebody's life or in an event like this mission right here? What do you think, Kayla? Okay, Jacob, could you help her out? We're talking about the timelines. Why is it easy to look at a timeline and know what happened?
Because it's all together and it goes first, second, third.
Okay, right, because it goes from beginning to the end. And what did we talk about? Is this a lot to read?
No.
I mean, we could read a book about somebody's life, right? But how is this easier? Megan?
Like you can see that it's lifting off and it actually like tells you just a
Right.
little part.
Just a little part. See, we have the pictures, Jonathan, right? We have the pictures, and this tells us what happened. Can you look at this picture and tell what happened? What were they doing?
Lifting
That's lift off, right? And then, in case you aren't sure about the picture, it tells you, right? Very short, just like she said. Awesome, you guys learned a lot today about timelines, right? Was that fun? You like working together?